to my channel again. Today is the 5th day that we are trying to be disciplined for every single day. Is it hard? Yes, absolutely it is hard. But I want to push it. You know, every day I woke up, I just stay in the bed for a couple of minutes just to rethink what I'm gonna do. Because I have no motivation. It's like I woke up and I love gym. I love the gym. But now I have no motivation whatsoever, nothing to continue this thing. But I am doing it for the sake that just keeping up with the challenge and keeping up with the everything that this challenge stood for. And you know, today I'm going to a gym with my friend because, you know, I think going alone doing these activities alone is okay in the beginning, but I encourage you to find someone that you can do kind of activities together. And I think I'm one of the few luckiest people that I have a good friends that I can share some of my life, and yeah, it's a pure luck, and I'm really grateful for that. Now today I was thinking what I can talk about. I guess one topic that comes to my mind is something that I always struggle, and I don't know maybe if you guys have it too. But the part that I always struggle is that we sometimes neglect to see what achieved in our life, and we usually, not usually we, but I usually delay the gratification. And there was a really good quote that I read about it yesterday, and he was mentioning this. He was mentioning that maybe the reason we are not appreciating enough ourselves is that when we achieve things, we constantly raise the bar. Now, what I mean by that is that you get a good job at, let's say, Google, and you're like, why I didn't get a job at the Apple? Now, the bar is Apple, but you can enjoy the Google because you set the bar for the Apple. But previously it was Google and you made it to a Google. But let's say I bought the MX-5. If I just continue with saying that, oh, why not I didn't get the 911 Porsche, then it would have sucked for me, because then I wouldn't enjoy the car, then I wouldn't enjoy anything. I guess took me some time to realize this behavior that I had, that I was not giving enough credit for myself. And I think there's a lot of people out there that not doing that. And to be honest, I don't exactly remember when was the last time that I had to look in the mirror and say to myself that you did great, Famir, you achieved a lot. But I think we always ignore it and we always delay it. And I think we do it subconsciously. It's not even something that we do it consciously. But yeah, I think that needs to be changed. I remember there was an exercise that I was doing with my therapist. It was so she was mentioning to me that every single day, at the end of every single day, before going to bed, I was supposed to, you know, write 3 3 good things that I did on that day. And you know what I realized when I was doing it for a month? I realized that I actually had a very boring life. And that very boring life, I guess, lead to kind of like depression, burnout, everything. Because if you're not moving enough, then your body starts questioning, thinking what could go wrong, thinking you have some problems. So brain, I always say that brain is something that lives completely apart life from body. It basically wants to survive itself. Like it wants to live a very safe life. That's why when you try to go to gym, when you try to do activities, it always tries to constantly generate some random thoughts so that you could not go to the gym, or you could not do that activity, you would not go outside. Now I experienced this because there was times that I was constantly going to exercise, I was constantly exercising, and now there was a time also I was not exercising, and I noticed the difference. The difference is that when you are like woke up and say that I'm going to a gym, your brain at the beginning starts to clash with you. But the more you do it consistently, the more you realize that it gets easier over the time to clash with your brain, because at the end of the day, you're telling to your brain is like, shut up, I'm going to a gym. And then it doesn't oppose you with more. And I guess this is a very important thing for our life. That's why I'm like trying to go every single day to exercise. It's just to eliminate that authority of the brain on my body, because this makes it easier to give other decisions. Previously, it was way harder. Now, yeah, I think the more you do it, the more you gain autonomy over your body, and then you choose what to do. Because of so ever since my career started, this COVID thing happened, and I was stuck with the home offices, and I liked it because I was spending a lot of time with my families. But over the time, I realized that actually always staying at the home is the worst thing. Now, I specifically don't say that home office is bad, but in my case, it was home office. I was not closing the laptop, but I was closing the laptop with just, let's say at the 6, the work just finished. I was closing the laptop, but then the work was not finished. Now, when you go to office, you realize that, okay, work is done, and you leave everything in there and you just come to home. And that changes the environment, and that sets the mood so that I'm in home, and here is where I should not think about work. But I think a lot of times in the beginning that was happening to me is that I was coming home, I was still thinking about the work. It was 11 p.m., 12 p.m., I don't know, 1 a.m., still thinking about the job, and it was bothering me a lot. Now, I changed over the year because I was lucky that I had good managers that who taught me, who guide me during these things, and at the end of the day, I was able to fix this. But now, one thing from these that I can mention is that just appreciate yourself as much as possible, as often as possible. You know, we do a lot of great things in this life, small, maybe insignificant, But we do a lot of good things every single day. Even I am waking up at 9 a.m. today, because today's not holiday, public holiday. Even me waking up at 9 a.m., 7 a.m., going to a gym, it is already an achievement, because you're doing something for yourself not many people does for themselves, and that is a great achievement. And it's funny that I say this, because I was usually the one that are always ungrateful, but I'm trying to get used to it, to trying to be more surrounded, and to be more connected with everything that happens around me, and appreciate things more. I guess that's something we should do every day, and that it will, no matter what, it will improve our life dramatically. Now, I guess I talked a lot, maybe. So, as usual, because this is, at the same time, it's a therapy for me, so I want you to, I'll just shut up, and I want you to enjoy the rest of the ride.